Buddy, I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are
hopefully awesome.
That's right, a positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And today's geeky thing is somebody smile. Oh, that was real for a second. I really thought that you were being legit, but you weren't. You were being silly.
Yeah. Because
this is Going Back to Smallville, our weekly video podcast where Maggie and I chit-chat, rewatch, recap every episode of Smallville, week by week, episode by episode. Remember, if you'd like to support the show, you can head on over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome or join us right here on youtube.com/hopefullyawesome, just like these fine folks did. Get your name in every episode, get access to the Google Drive, and just generally support Hopefully Awesome. But if you have no bucks to tell us our way, it's totally fine. We are also brought to you in part by a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. I'll tell you more about that here in a second. Maggie, how you doing on this Super Tuesday? Not the Super Tuesday, just a Super Tuesday.
A Super Tuesday.
Yeah, do you know what Super Tuesday is?
Election.
Yeah. So obviously today is not Super Tuesday, but it's a Super Tuesday.
I'm okay, even though I had to stay at work for an extra 3 hours because it's a work day.
Wonderful. Man.
So stupid.
Man, you're just like Clark. You know, Clark burning the midnight oil, trying to take care of the earth. You know, run down. Here you are, working 3 extra hours. Same.
Staring at a model.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's basically the same. But you know what else is the same?
What?
Going Back to Smallville. Yeah. This is Season 6, Episode 2. Sneeze. Special thanks to Smallville.fandom.com for helping us curate the info for this episode. This is episode 112 overall.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, the original air date was October 5th, 2006. Written by Todd Slavgen and Darren Swimmer. No relation to David Schwimmer.
Which will be starring in the new Goosebumps.
He is. And it's like plant people or something. It's weird.
Plant people.
Do you think Robert Plant was a plant pit? Never mind. Previous episodes include Season 2's Duplicity, Visage, Rush, and Accelerate. Season 3's Extinction, Asylum, Velocity, and Resurrection. Season 4's Transference, Recruit, and Commencement. Season 5's Arrival, Aqua, Solitude, Hypnotic, and Fragile. Fragile.
Fragile.
Everything okay, mate?
Trying to listen for a baby.
Gotcha. Well, while you're listening, I'm going to keep talking. Directed by...
I gotta go check up on
You're fine. You're good. I'll go ahead and keep running through this.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, dude. Directed by Paul Shapiro, whose previous episodes include Season 1's Stray, Season 4's Jinx and Pariah, Season 5's Aqua, they're directed the same one, Thirst and Solitude. Synopsis provided by IMDb user Claudio Carvalho. Clark Kent is completely worn out rebuilding Metropolis during the night, and he has a cold with a powerful sneeze. Meanwhile, Lana Lang moves to Lex Luthor's mansion, who is worried about someone that is following him. When Luthor is kidnapped by 2 former government agents that had seen his powers through a satellite and wants to know how he could be so powerful, the weak Clark tries to find him. Lionel Luthor has a meeting with the millionaire Oliver Queen and advises him that if something bad happens to Lex, there would be a payback. This is Season 6, Episode 2. Sneeze. Maggie is not in here, so I will tell you what I thought about this episode. I thought this episode was sneeze-tastic. Let me tell you, I thought it was a fun one. It was a fun episode. Had Cliff, brother of Joe. It was good. It was good. Maggie, what'd you think about this episode?
I thought it was
I already did that.
Awesome.
Boo. I wish I had more hands so I could give that 4 thumbs down.
asshole. I really enjoyed this episode. It's, kind of, it's cheesy, but it's kind of fun at the same time.
Is it cheesy or sneezy?
Don't make it worse, Matt.
I'm sorry. That's what I do. That's what I do.
If I had 6 arms with 6 hands and 6 thumbs, I give you 6 thumbs.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a long walk to get to that.
Yep.
It's a walk to remember. Anyway.
No.
It was interesting having a new superpower.
Mm-hmm.
The first new superpower we've had since
in a while.
What was the last one? Hearing?
Hearing.
Yeah. I mean, technically flight, but he didn't fly. Like Kal-El flew. Kal-El flew.
Yeah.
Clark Kent still grounded, as he likes to say.
He could jump high.
Yeah. He did a super jump. I guess you could say that. He's been jumping. But like the last real big superpower he got was hearing.
Yeah.
That's been like 3 seasons ago at this point.
I believe so.
It's crazy. I'm pretty sure it was season 3. It's wild. Speaking of sneezing.
My nose is just dry and itchy.
That happens, man. No, it was first episode coming out of the Zod stuff. And we kind of take it down a little bit. We deal with Clark sneezing everywhere. We got Lois wanting to be a reporter.
That's my favorite storyline out of this.
Oh, absolutely. By far.
It's just so funny.
Yeah. I mean, the Lex Lana stuff is
bullshit.
Dumb. Yeah. And we'll get into it in the relationship stuff, but like the Lana Clark conversation was awful. Lana's just totally turned into Lex.
She has absorbed Lex's likeness.
Yeah. She's like if Majin Buu absorbed an asshole. Nailed it. But you know what else I nailed, Maggie? This ad.
What?
That's right. This episode is brought to you in part by a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. Have you ever wanted access to a world of entertainment, speedy deliveries, and exclusive deals? Well, with Amazon Prime, you can get all that and more. Stream thousands of movies and TV shows like The Boys, listen to ad-free music, and enjoy unlimited reading. Plus, with Prime's fast and free shipping, you'll never have to wait long for your orders. Ready to experience the best of Amazon? Then use our link in the description of this episode to sign up for a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime today. Discover all the benefits and see how it can make your life easier and more enjoyable. Don't miss out on this hopefully awesome opportunity. And now, back to the show.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Whoa!
All right. How Clark and Lana have progressed this week. Well, they have not progressed much, let me tell you that. Clark finds Lana at Lex's when he's trying to find Lex, and Lana calls Clark out for saying he's trying to save Lex when it's only to protect himself. Though she doesn't really know what's going on, She's just assuming here.
She doesn't deserve to know.
Yeah. Lana then asks Clark how he knew Lex would become Zod, but Clark doesn't answer. Lana tells Clark to GTFO. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. Like, I thought maybe after the whole Zod thing, like, she talked to Lana Luthor and got the knife, and, like, I thought maybe she'd be a little more, not like understanding or anything, but just like, maybe like she said to Clark, she was like, I fucking hate you. How could I ever love someone like you, right? And then like Lex is Zod, and then she's like, I'm gonna kill Lex. Like, I don't know. I just feel like all of that would maybe make you like think about things and like maybe have a new perspective on things. And like,
maybe think about how a certain somebody rescued you in a tornado.
Well, she doesn't know about that.
Oh yeah,
she
all
thinks she knows, but
quit.
But she knows about all the other times that he saved her. Like, there's a lot of times that he saved her that she is aware of, and there's a lot that she's not aware of. But like, I don't know. It just seems like we picked up immediately following the, how could she ever love someone like him, as if nothing happened from that conversation to this conversation. And it just feels, I don't know, again, kind of forced. Like, I'm okay with it because I don't like Lana anyway, like the Lana Clark situation. I hate that in this show that I have to be the devil's advocate for Lana, you know? But like in this specific situation, I think that it's kind of uncalled for the coldness that she's showing to him.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, especially when you factor in, like, she thought Clark was just looking to kill Lex for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
But, like, then he turned into Zod, and she knows that, and, like, he was gonna, like, do bad things to her forcefully. Can't say the words here on YouTube. But, you know, so, I mean, he was right. So I just still don't understand how he doesn't get any credit for that. I don't know. It's just frustrating.
It's because Lana's dumb.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately. Like, again, in this, it just feels like the writers were, like, trying to push Lana into this peg, you know? And, like, she doesn't really fit it, but, like... No. And I don't know. I like to blame the writers. Maybe it's not all the writers. Like, maybe... Kristen Crook, maybe she wanted to do more than just be the girl next door and, you know, pining over Clark. Like, maybe she wanted more out of the character, right? And, like, I get that. Like, I can understand not wanting to play the same character, but just, I don't know. I just feel like this is just bad all the way around and not believable. Like, none of this feels like Lana. Like, they just decided this is the route she's going, and it's the route she's going because it's the route she's going. Like, there was no factors that, like, made her become who she now is. Like, they just made her become that, you know? Kind of like when Lex just became a comic book villain.
Yeah, they just cut all the corners. They're like, screw it. It's not going to look like a snowflake. So.
Yeah. Anyway, it was just, I don't know. I kind of, that was like a low point for this episode for me, honestly.
Agreed.
How Clark and Lex have progressed this week. Well, Clark saves Lex and Lana from the burning building by blowing out the fire. So, no real interaction between Clark and Lex. Lex getting the shit kicked out of him quite a bit. Gets shot at one point by Cliff, brother of Joe.
Yeah.
And, Clark decides, you know what? I gotta save him anyway. Why? Probably because Lana was there. If Lana wasn't there, Maggie, do you think he still would have saved Lex?
I think he would have.
Absolutely. He's Superman. He's Clark. He can't just let somebody die, you know? He doesn't get to pick and choose who lives and who dies. He just saves everybody and lets God sort it out. How Lex and Lana have progressed this week. Still, just why are we?
Barf.
I hate it. Lana has moved into Lex's mansion due to her school being closed after dark Thursday. Lana discovers that Lex has cameras in her room. And then, after they are both saved, Lana confronts Lex about the cameras, but Lex insists it's only for her protection. Lana then tells Lex that either the camera leaves or she does. And Lex is like, well, there's the fucking door. Get the hell out of here. No, he says he'll take out the camera from her room, but that the rest of the cameras stay because this is just how he lives. And Lana decides to stay. Like, okay, red flags, obviously. You know, Lana finds a camera of her changing out of her bra, right? And, like, I think it's time to leave. Now, that being said, Lex is right. Like,
he's lived like this for a long time.
Yeah. And I mean, given Lex's situation, like him being rich, him being almost murdered multiple times, like, I kind of understand why he would want cameras everywhere. And I can understand that maybe he wasn't legitimately putting the camera in there to watch her. I feel like, why would he need to?
It might have already been in there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that even occurred to him for like a sexual reason.
No.
I think it was literally just because.
And also, I don't think he expected her to find that.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I feel like their relationship, I mean, I don't think they've like boned yet or anything, but like, I mean, maybe they have, but I don't think that he would need to see her secretly undress. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, or maybe I'm normal. I don't know. But like, I don't know. I feel like they're together. Like, would he really need to be peeping Tom on her? You know, like I don't know. It just feels. It feels like Lana's jumping to some pretty extreme conclusions.
Yeah. Also, I know that like Lex kind of like liked her whenever she was younger, you know, or whatever.
Oh yeah, super creepy. She was
But,
like, I'm pretty sure she was 14 when they first met.
But like, he never like gave me that vibe that he'd be, you know,
Creeper.
like peeping Tom.
Yeah, I don't think he has to. I mean, like, I feel like Lex has never really had troubles with the opposite sex as far as like trying to get a member of the opposite sex. Like, he's had troubles. They've tried to kill him multiple times for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I don't really see him as somebody that has trouble getting to be with someone.
Yeah.
You know? And so like, again, it doesn't fit. Lex wants to be in control.
Excuse me.
And like, you know, he wants to be loved more than anything. He doesn't know how to really expand upon that. You know, like that's what he's wanting. He's wanting someone to love him the way that his dad never did, the way that his mom did, but died too soon for him to fill. Right? Like he's just trying to fill that hole in his life, obviously. But like, you know, so him peeping, that's just not fitting. You know, like it's just not. It wouldn't do anything for the loss of emotions and love that he's feeling, right? Like, if anything, I feel like it would make it worse.
Yeah.
So again, all of that being said, it's not really that Lex had it in there. It's more that Lana jumped to the conclusion that, oh, he obviously is just wanting to watch me undress.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know. I'm not like a pro Lex guy. Like, he's terrible, obviously. But like, again, Lana just, it's like she is like hates everybody and expects the worst from everybody. Like, I don't really understand why that is. I mean, I guess you could blame Clark for always lying to her, but like, and maybe Jason going crazy, you know, and Adam not going crazy, and her best friend going crazy. You know, maybe that's why.
Aunt Nell going crazy, got married.
Aunt Nell abandoned her for sure, and like her parents abandoned her. I guess. I mean, they died, but
they died, Matt.
But like, you know, I don't know. Again, it just feels more like they were wanting conflict between the two of them, and for it to end with Lex asserting his authority over her. But like, from within a realm of like, he's in the right by saying what he said, even though he's asserting an authority that obviously he shouldn't have over Lana, obviously. But I'm dissecting this way too hard.
Yes.
Sorry. Any other thoughts you have on the Lex and Lana stuff?
No. Something in chat just popped up. Matt CR says, "Hey everyone, I think YouTube is having issues. My other account wasn't getting any chats through."
That's weird. We'll have to look into that. Matt ZR. Sorry about that. We'll check and see.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, like, just watch how long we've been watching this and knowing Lex.
Yeah.
And how he is protecting himself.
Yeah.
At all costs. Like, he's got a security guard. He has a special private investigator and stuff. But like somewhere in your head, you're gonna think, oh yeah, this guy's been attempted to be murdered like multiple times. Yes,
at least once a year for like ever since she's known him. You know,
like, get it through your brain, Lana. Hello, he's doing this for himself. He locks himself up in this area, the study. When shit goes down. So why are you acting like you're offended?
You
know,
it's just it's so empty. It's just such an empty thing. Again, it just feels like the writers were trying to force conflict that doesn't really make any sense on any level. You know, And like when that happens, it just makes the show less enjoyable.
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest issue with Lana, just in general, over the course of the show, is that they set her up as one character and then they make her do just totally bonkers things that she wouldn't do based off the character that they built.
Yeah.
And like refuse to give us any kind of reasoning behind that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I will say, before Lana is no longer on the show, like they do make good strides at like making her make sense as a character. But it's just, it takes a long time to get there. Okay. She doesn't make it to the end of the series. I'm not saying she dies or anything. I'm just saying like Michael Rosenbaum, like, you know, he obviously leaves at a certain point. Yeah. Same thing with her. Like, she didn't make it all 10 seasons.
Matt Zare says Lexana is birth worthy.
There you go. The Oracle has spoken.
Upgrade.
All right, now let's get into a good section of what was a good part. How Clark and Lois have progressed this week. So, we begin the episode, Lois almost getting crushed by the Kent barn door after Clark sneezes it away. Sorry about your barn. Back to the future. Lois decides to find out what happened. Chloe then tries to steer Lois away from pursuing the truth, but Lois is persistent. Lois then gets her story printed in the Inquisitor and realizes that being a reporter may, in fact, be her calling. I will keep calling you to
But I thought she was campaign manager. Or
Maggie. That was season 5. All right,
we gotta move on to.
We're in season 6 now, baby. All right. Hasn't Lionel taught you anything? Every year we do something different. All right, like the things that we need to stick around. Sure, the things we don't, fucking they go in the trash. We never talk about it again. All right. I'm sure there's probably another statement of intent about Lois not being Martha's campaign, whatever. I don't even know what you would call that now that she's
assistant.
Yeah, it's something. Deputy mayor. That's what
Deputy mayor.
That's what Michael J. Fox was on Spin City. So I don't know. Like I'm assuming that they actually make like a fully committed thing. Like I'm putting all my effort in this or whatever. Mm-hmm. But this season, that is part of her story arc, is actually moving closer to being a reporter. You know, which is kind of weird. Especially since Chloe is still there. Mm-hmm. It just kind of feels like we're double dipping into some stuff. But I mean, it becomes good. Don't get me wrong. Like it's
not just like the really fact that she's writing for the tabloid.
Yeah, for sure. And I liked how she didn't really bite on any of the stuff that Chloe was trying to say. Mm-mm. You know, like she kind of saw right through the bullshit. Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool. Like we definitely got a feel for Lois being the Lois we know. Yeah. Like we can see how she becomes that Lois. Mm-hmm. You know. But yeah, it's good. You know, the little bit of not really flirting, but you know, little Clarky got a cold or sniffles or whatever she says.
Does Clarky have the sniffles?
Yeah, and like I thought that was funny. Mm-hmm. Lois is just always a highlight anytime she's in this.
I really did like this plot line in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm like munching away.
It's okay.
But like, I just love the fact that just nothing's going to stop her from figuring this out.
Yeah. And that's true to her character.
Yeah.
Like the opposite of Lana.
Yeah.
You know, Lana, they have no idea how to route her, but like Lois, they've just totally nailed. No. And like everything that they have her do makes sense within the structure of Lois that they've created. You know? And so like, again, just being very pro Lois, it just rings even harder. Like, why the fuck is Clark like still hung up on Lana? You know, which he's not really. Like, not really currently. We've not really seen that part. What she
said. What Lana said to him at Lex's mansion. I feel like maybe before all this odd stuff, that would have like cut him down a couple of notches. But no, he's pissed.
Yeah, it honestly right now it feels like Clark is just so not even thinking about relationships. You know, like not even like he's hung up on Lana or sad about Lana and stuff. It's more just like he doesn't have the time. You know, he's more concerned with Black Thursday or Dark Thursday or whatever they call it.
Cleaning up Metropolis.
Yeah, you know, or like, which I guess he doesn't know about the other things that escape the Phantom Zone with him.
Yeah.
I guess he's not aware of that yet. But you know, so it's, I don't know. We start reaching a good spot. There's a couple of spots this season where like he's kind of like not slumming it, but like just alone, you know? And like they play with that a little bit and like try to get him to recognize his potential. You know, I mean, obviously in this episode specifically, we saw Clark like doing more than what he's done in the past to fix things, you know. And that just kind of keeps growing. Like this, I feel like this season really begins his trajectory towards Superman. You know, just realizing it's not necessarily enough for him to just take care of the things that fall in his lap, you know, or that affects his friends and family, but that maybe he can actually be proactive and help things that he wasn't even aware of. You know. That's a lot of what this season's about. That's probably why I like it so much, honestly. like this really starts feeling like Superman, which I'm of course just very excited about, obviously. Anything else you want to say about the relationships before we move into the next one? All right, let's get into continuity.
Carry on my wayward son.
All right, Maggie. To sneeze means to expel a sharp blast of air through the nose involuntarily. The title refers to the cold Clark catches that makes him sneeze extreme gusts of wind, eventually developing into his super breath ability. Huff, puff, and blow me down.
I just like how he walked into the kitchen after it happened. He's like, Mom, I think I sneezed. And Martha's like, oh my God, you sneezed for the first time. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a total mom thing. Oh my God, you sneezed for the first time.
And that Chloe didn't even realize that was a big deal. She's like, yeah, you sneezed, big deal. You know?
He's like, I've never sneezed.
She's like, what? No, it was the sneeze. Just the beginning of it was kind of silly. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the idea of super breath is silly. You know, like, let's be totally honest. Of all the special abilities Superman has, super breath is probably the one that's the most eye-rolling, you know?
But he used it in Superman.
Which one? 3?
4.
Where he put out the frozen lake. That was 3, because Richard Pryor.
Oh,
yeah, him and Jimmy. Jimmy on the way to Smallville. They had stopped by, yeah. God, what a, oh my God. So, you know, I guess I'm okay with them being a little more comedic with the super breath, whereas like they've taken the other powers pretty seriously.
Yes.
Although I will say, like, heat vision, obviously they had a comedic spin on that also, but it was more about like puberty and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this just feels more like slapstick a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
His X-ray vision.
Whenever
it kicked in and stuff.
And like he saw Pete.
Yeah.
Like, but he saw like all of Pete. Like his muscles and stuff. Yeah. That was, what a weird time. Yeah. Let's see here. It is unexplained why Clark's super breath is not weakened like his other powers. However, it is possible that being a new power, Clark lacks the usual self-control over it and uses more force than he would normally exert. So the idea here being that Clark weak on most of his powers, like, you know, he says his super speed gives out and he has to jog. Yeah. And so, like, if that's the case, why is his breath still so powerful and not weakened like everything else? And I mean, obviously the answer to that is very obvious. Plot. That's it.
Plot.
I mean, like, you know, you could say that maybe like his body's compensating for like being weaker in some areas by like doing this. I like the idea of just Clark just by the sheer build of his body has super breath. You know, that it's not really like an ability. It's more like if he's super strong and like he's invulnerable, then like his lungs would have the capacity to, you know, do that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I like it when they make things make sense. You know, heat vision doesn't really like, you know, there's not a legitimate reason. Now, I mean, you could say like, sure, it's because he's powered by the sun gives heat, and heat is then, you know, has to expel, you know, like, sure, that you could get there. They don't do any of that though.
No.
The hearing, you know, because he got blinded for a little bit, like that's why he got super hearing. So I like it when they take the time to make that make sense. The super leaps being because he's fast and strong, and so he can, you know, make that happen. You know, so I really like how they did the sneeze in those, or the super breath. How they explained it.
I
as
do
just
too.
The capacity to be able.
Because I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah.
I'm like, like, okay, that's the one superpower I know that he doesn't have.
Yeah.
When does it show up?
Yeah.
And how are they going to handle it?
Do you like how they show the super breath? Like the action of the super breath?
Like the zoom in on
and
his
like
face.
You see the air,
the
like
air
the air strips around.
I was very disappointed. We didn't get the see-through image like we do with the ear. We see the eardrum and everything.
We don't even get that anymore.
We don't. No, well, I meant like for the first time.
Oh, gotcha.
You know,
gotcha. Yeah.
We didn't get to see the lungs taking in all this air.
I don't think anybody needed to see that.
I needed to.
Plus, I don't think they had the money for it. I'll be honest. I think that's why this whole episode takes place in a broken barn and a table slab.
It's true.
Nailed it. That's exactly what this episode is. When Clark is talking with Chloe, he mentions that Lois is on some sort of crusade to find out the truth. Crusade is the name of the episode. Lois arrives in Smallville and meets Clark. Mm-hmm. The bandage on Lana's hand is the result of her run-in with Legzod, who pinned her to the wall through her palm with a metal rod in the episode Zod. I didn't even notice it, I'll be honest. What?
I feel like she would, I mean, she should be experiencing multiple episodes of PTSD no matter where she's at. Yeah. I'm sorry, a freaking metal rod stuck in your hand by your boyfriend who's possessed.
Yeah.
And you're staying in the place where that said metal rod.
Now, see, you're going to make me have to be devil's advocate again.
No.
And, like, I don't want to be, but you're going to make me be devil's advocate. She was possessed. She understands that it wasn't him.
But still yet, Matt.
I don't think there's a still yet.
It is trauma.
Yes, it's trauma, but it's a shared trauma. All right. He was taken over. She can identify with that because she was taken over.
But has she even said that to Lex yet?
No, we have to infer these things because the writers don't know how to write.
No, I'm not going to infer.
We've established this.
The
whole first 30 minutes of this episode. The writers don't know what the hell they're doing with Lana. That's the whole thing.
I'm not inferring that. I'm just saying from a logical standpoint.
I disagree.
If you were possessed and you stabbed my hand with a metal rod, I would not be staying in the same building as you.
But if you had been possessed the year before.
I haven't been.
But she was. That's what I'm saying. You're missing, of all your logic, you're missing the one simple thing of the emotional core of the entire situation. She has been possessed. She has hurt people while she murdered somebody. She knows what that feels like. And so
she can't remember it, Matt.
She does remember it.
He can't remember it.
What are you even talking about? I think the reason why she stays is because she feels a sense of responsibility to be there for Lex because she went through what he went through and feels like there's a kinship there and that she is supposed to help him. I think it's like your typical what is it, Nightingale effect? Like in Back to the Future when Marty gets hit by the car and Lorraine falls in love with him because like she wants to take care of him, you know, and it's supposed to be George. Like, it's that. Like, she feels for Lex, and she's equating that to love, even though that's obviously not what it is.
No.
And he's using it because he, too, thinks that he loves her, but really he's just trying to fill, you know, that void. Obviously, I'm re-saying everything that I've already said. But yeah, like, I truly think you can't discount the fact that she was possessed and hurt people, and so she is very much qualified to meet Lex on that level. And after all the years of not being able to connect with Clark, having this very specific thing that only her and Lex, I mean, that she knows of, that only her and Lex can share, I think makes her feel more tied to him than really she should. And so she looks over the things that she shouldn't look over. Like, yeah, should she stay there? No, fuck no. I mean, Lex is dangerous even before he became Zod, you know, obviously. He tried to freaking steal her purse, you know, and that wasn't even when he was evil.
No.
That was just normal Lex. I mean, regardless of what happened in Onyx, you know, like he caused her to get stomped by the horse. You know, let's not forget that. You know,
he made the horse go crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
And it kicked her in her face.
So, like, don't get me wrong. Totally accurate reasons why she should not be there. But one of those reasons is not because he was Zod. I'm defending this one very simple, specific thing. Quit. I don't want to. All right. Clark and Chloe arrange for a day at the Crater Lake. Clark dreamed of going swimming at the lake with Lana in the episode Slumber. This episode sparks Lois's interest in journalism, leading to her eventual employment at the Daily Planet.
Spoiler alert.
It's Lois Lane.
Spoiler alert.
I'm not even saying that that's this Lois.
Spoiler
I'm
alert.
saying this is Lois, like, in general.
Spoiler alert.
Like, anytime I say Clark's eventual turn as Superman, like, I'm talking about Clark Kent, not Clark. Anyway.
But his name is Clark Kent.
Chloe calls Pontius Sam Spade, a reference to the private detective in the book / movie The Maltese Falcon, who was portrayed by Humphrey Bogart in the 1941 film.
They're just looking at you, kid.
Hey, see, we got a big old can of whoop ass. Lana refers to Big Brother when talking to Lex about the security cameras in her room, a reference to George Orwell's character in the novel 1984, where Big Brother is a dictator who watches over the citizens using surveillance cameras. It also refers to the reality TV show of the same name. No, it doesn't.
No.
Whoever read that, you're wrong. It's just 1984.
No, it's just
1984. It's not referring to...
No.
Which Big Brother, the show, is also in reference to 1984. That's why it's called Big Brother. Idiots. Sorry. Thank you for writing this, but no. Quit shoving shit in there.
Wrong.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Matt Sierra says Matt is the defender of Barfolana.
I'm not. Someone has to make sure that we stick up for the things that actually do make sense, because God knows there's plenty of things that are fucking stupid, and I'm right there with you to tear it apart. But I will defend the actual genuine pieces of logic that the writers use, because it's so
there's no logic.
It's so rare. It's so rare that you have to uphold it. Okay, you have to defend it. And there is logic. This is logic. Everything I said is logical. Just because it's against what you say doesn't mean that it's not logical. Emotion is the most logical thing us humans have. All right. The fact that it's illogical is logical. All right. You just made me skip literally all this without paying any attention. Okay, so this week
party, pal.
We welcomed the brand new character, the big new awesome Justin Hartley as Oliver Queen. Oliver Queen is the 30th DC Comics character adapted into the series.
Woo! Yeah.
Maggie, what'd you think about Justin Hartley, Oliver Queen? My God. My God in heaven. What'd you think? What did you expect in a white suit?
No. God, no. Lex in a white suit? Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why the hell they did that.
Oh, they're like, hey, he's got bleach blonde hair. Hey, maybe let's put him in an all white suit in the end. Why?
I think
green. I would understand like a black and green kind of deal.
Well, they do that soon enough. I think that what I'm inferring is that they were wanting to try and maybe make the audience be suspicious because it's so similar to Lex.
Yeah.
And I think that we're supposed to be surprised at the turn that he's good. Now, it's stupid that they did that.
Yeah.
Because they were advertising that he's Green Arrow, like, before season 6 even started.
Really dumb.
Yeah, like,
that's really dumb.
Pretty sure at Comic-Con
you just
they were
showed
already
your
showing
hand.
it. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't know why they thought it would be, oh, this is clever. But, I mean, like, even looking at this episode with him, like, hiring these two guys to, like, fuck up Lex and stuff, which I know obviously they weren't supposed to do that, but that does not fit the character. Like, once we actually get to know the character, like, in Smallville, their version, none of this fits him. Like, he wouldn't do this.
No.
If anything, he would do it himself.
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't know. It was an interesting first meeting with Oliver. The fact that it was a shared scene with Lionel
of all people.
Yeah, and I guess they're wanting to delay the Clark Oliver meeting for it to be more special, I guess.
Dramatic.
'Cause you gotta keep in mind also, the main reason they used him is because they couldn't do Batman. Now, obviously they wouldn't say that, but like, you will see as this season progresses, he is very much a stand-in for Batman. Like, that is very much what he's doing. And they just couldn't have Batman. So they used Oliver Queen instead, you know? It's like
Cowards.
when they used Daredevil instead of Spider-Man, you know? Like, you obviously wanted Spider-Man, but you couldn't get it. So you're using Daredevil.
There's Daredevil.
You know? And, like, that's fine. It's fine. This character has plenty of its own good stuff, you know? And luckily they do start shying away from that and make Green Arrow his own character, which is nice. But, like, yeah. I will say I did completely forget about the clock set. Like, I completely forgot about that. Like, when it first showed the giant clock, I was like, oh yeah.
I was like, ooh, new set piece.
Yeah. I like this set.
Yeah.
Then we see this giant clock. Unless there's another clock, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the set. But, like, unless there's another set that is another giant clock. Yeah. And, like, it's just not his wherever they are.
Yeah.
It's just another thing and so they just kind of repurpose it. Like, we either stay here and, like, use this set, or they turn this set into a different clock set. Yeah. That's not, like, Oliver Queen's. But they do, like, go there, I'm pretty sure, for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Like, this set appears.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, whether it's specifically Oliver's loft or whatever, or if it becomes like a clock tower or something, I don't remember. I'm just thinking, like, if Lionel knows that it's Oliver's, then it might not make sense for it to be like a secret area. Yeah. So that's my only confusion, but they may also just not give a fuck. Who knows? Any thoughts about it? Like, obviously, you know Green Arrow, you know, like, a little bit about Oliver. You know that he's ultimately a good guy.
Yeah.
That aside, were you surprised by your first interactions with Oliver Queen?
Yes. I'm like, what? I mean, I understand, because, like, we've gotten to know Lex now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But, like, hey, let's throw in another playboy.
Rich white boy. But this one has hair.
This one is better.
It has abs. It's hot.
He's hot.
Hot. Yeah, like a hot. He was Aquaman. Anyway.
Where did you go with that one?
Any other thoughts about it?
That Lionel's like, you know what? I know one way to just soften up this this kiddo. Scotch.
Oh, Lionel.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you really think Lionel would fuck up Oliver? Do you think he could? Or do you think Oliver's just like, get out of here, old man?
I think it's what it is. I think Oliver knows that no, he's not gonna lay any hands on me.
Yeah. There's a lot of lore that involves Oliver and Lex in the past. He kind of mentions it a little bit that they were school buddies or whatever.
Yeah, boarding school buddies.
Yeah. So I mean, like, there is some history there that I'm not going to get into. It's not really my favorite storylines that we got. But you know, so unfortunately it does fit with that a little bit of how Lionel's acting, though. It's so hard to read Lionel like right now because like I can't tell if he still loves Lex or if he fucking hates Lex.
I think it's both.
I guess
it's always been both.
Like, I guess, but like, I don't know. It's like most of the time he's not pro Lex, but then randomly he will be.
Yeah.
And again, that just feels like a writer's thing. Last thing I'll say about Oliver, unless you have.
Well, I was supposed to say it's probably a money thing too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's got the purse strings.
Yeah.
Last thing about Oliver, what do you think about his arrow shot at the end?
That was pretty cool.
Right? It was pretty rad. I did like that.
Yeah.
And they do handle the arrow stuff pretty good in this show, so I like it.
Matt CR says to the Batman thing you said about Oliver, he says Matt has a good point regarding Oliver. And Lionel would never do anything dirty on his own. That is very true.
Yeah, that's accurate. He would hire Cliff, brother of Joe. Speaking of Cliff, brother of Joe, let's get into the Freak of the Week.
Major Funky.
All right, everybody. This week's Freak of the Week is Cliff, brother of Joe. If you don't know the reference, this guy, and I've totally forgotten his name, but he's been in a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But he was in Dead Men on Campus.
I'll look up his name real quick.
And he played the character Cliff, and it was one of the characters that they were trying to get to be their roommates because they thought he would die on his own and that would give them straight A's for the whole semester.
Lachlan Monroe.
There you go. Like he was in like White Chicks. He's been in a ton of stuff. Just so many things. And so anyway, that's how I always remember him is Cliff because he did a little song in Dead Men on Campus. And he says, "My name is Cliff, brother of Joe. I got me some crack. I want me some hoes. Let me hear you say yeah." And then that's it. And it makes me laugh every time. He's ridiculous. It's like they're getting chased by the cops in one scene. And they're like, pull over. And he's like, "Oh man, they hate it when you do this." And he pulls out a gun. Like, but he's an idiot. Like, it's not for any legitimate reasons. He's just stupid. It's so funny.
Well, apparently the Wayans brothers must really like him because he's in White Chicks, Little Man. That Scary Movie.
Oh yeah.
He was in Totally Killer.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Let's see. I'm trying to find some more. A Night at the Roxbury.
Oh yeah, he's the gym guy.
Yeah.
He ends up marrying Molly Shannon at the end.
Yeah, and he was in Benchwarmers. I do remember that. I can't remember off the top of my head what his character did, but I do remember seeing his face. Freddy versus Jason.
That's fantastic. We need to watch that again.
That makes me want to watch it. I haven't watched it since it was like out on rental on VHS.
My favorite part is when Jay and Silent Bob show up, but it's not Jay and Silent Bob because I don't think they had the rights.
No,
but
they did have the rights.
They have two characters that are very much Jay and Silent Bob. More Jay than Silent Bob, but they put the two of them next to each other and it's like, you guys are just making Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah. But yeah, so Cliff, brother of Joe. Currently, the ranking is at number 1, like Zod. Maggie, where would you like to put Cliff, brother of Joe?
Number 2.
Number 2. He was fine.
He was okay.
Like,
he's generic.
Yeah. Like, I don't think he's going to be number 2 forever. I don't really remember the next few, but I'm certain he won't be like number 2 for the whole season or anything like that.
I'll laugh if he is.
Nah, there's no way.
I'll make a case for Cliff, brother of Joe, every time.
The only reason would just be because who he is.
Cliff, brother of Joe.
All right, your new ranking at number 2, Cliff, brother of Joe. At number 1, Legzod. All right, now let's get into the next segment, which is Puberty, but with superpowers.
Yeah. Big change.
All right, so kind of talked about this throughout the episode, but in this episode, Clark develops super breath in this episode as a result of being inside the Phantom Zone and coming into contact with the affected area. Clark's body is exposed to an alien pathogen or contagion in the form of a flu, which his immune system fights off. Similarly, in the episode Fever, green kryptonite spores was created when it contaminated regular spores, causing enhanced sickness. Clark uses the following abilities in this episode: super strength, super speed, x-ray vision, super hearing, elevated immune system, and super breath.
Yeah.
So I don't really think there's any connection. You know, we started this whole puberty thing. Like, originally the idea was that puberty was part of the powers, kind of like Buffy and the demons. Like, it's supposed to be representative of teens and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't really think there's any double meaning with super breath.
No, there isn't.
Right? Like, it's just, it is what it is.
You do still go through puberty into your, like, mid-20s.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like... Nah, I mean, this is his immune system straight up, man.
Like, I don't think it's supposed to be representative of anything. No. Like, not even puberty, like just anything, you know?
Yeah, that's just...
I mean, I guess you could say maybe it's because he's a blowhard. Fucking nailed that. Nailed it. What'd you think of him being like, blowing away a storm? And like causing God knows what.
Oh, you heard me. I'm like, wow, he just really messed up the atmosphere.
Dude, he fucked something up somewhere. Like, because of him, we now have 89 million cicadas running around. All right, I don't know exactly what happened, but I do love the only time that there's ever been clouds above the Kent farm was when they were gonna blow them away. You know, like they've never shown that screen before.
He did that so Lois would come.
Was it? I thought it was just for him and Chloe to be able to go.
Well,
I mean, I know Lois said, "Have you seen the sky?" Blah. But like, I'm pretty sure Chloe was like,
well, she was down to go either way. Her and Clark were gonna go,
but they wanted sun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't read it as
I read it that way.
Hey, you know what?
To have his friend Lois with him.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what it was. Or maybe not. No flats, no tots. Maggie, did they break the rule this week on flying or tighting?
I do not remember.
They did go fly a kite.
At the lake that we didn't see.
Well, they did fly it. Let's go fly a kite.
There was no flights or no tights.
The door went flying. The barn door.
That's not a human.
Sorry about your barn. Second time's a charm. All right. Let's get into That's Just Prime.
Well, that's just prime.
Dude, where my voice is kind of going out,
yeah.
I kind of sound like Optimus Prime there.
Yeah.
Autobots, roll out. Like, it's got that little bit of like vibrato. Is that even the right word?
I think that's
or it's almost like robotic sounding, you know?
Yeah.
Roll out. Autobots.
Auto-tune.
Transform. One shall stand, one shall fall. All right, Maggie, we got Lois.
Uh-oh. Does Clarky have the sniffles?
You're going to sneeze a few times, but then your sinuses clear right up. No thanks, Lois. I think we're out of cayenne.
No, you got some right here.
I should have put that in pizza time. I mean, I still could. No, I'm not going to. All right, we got Chloe and Clark.
I'll be Chloe.
All right.
Clark, with a sneeze like yours that says a lot about your lung capacity. Now just take a really deep breath and blow it out as hard as you can.
That's a still door. It's not a birthday cake.
I don't see anything else working. Come on, let's see what you got. Huff, puff, and blow this door down.
I recalled a Little Pigs joke like 10 minutes before it happened. I was like, I think there's a Little Pigs joke, but I'm not certain. And then Chloe comes in. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah. Because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they released that clip to like promote the episode. Oh. So like either, I mean, let's see, this is what, 2006? Right? So MySpace?
Yay!
Right? Man, it was on something. And like, I think that was too early for me to be on Facebook.
It was MySpace. Well,
it's probably MySpace. I saw it on. I mean, it could have been on the CW network. Like their website. Was there anything between MySpace and Facebook?
I mean, there was a lot of like online
like message boards and stuff.
Like like blurty journals
I
live journals. Like
it was definitely
was
a social
that.
Network.
But like
it was MySpace. It was totally MySpace.
I'm pretty certain it is MySpace because I remember being a senior in high school and checking my MySpace. And that was like 2006.
Yeah. And like mom had the internet.
Yeah.
And I know I went over to mom's to update my MySpace. And that was at least 2007. Mm-hmm. So, because again, just in case everybody forgot, I did not have internet until I was like in my 20s. It was the worst.
I think I had dial-up at my mom and dad's. I don't recall it sounding like that. I want to say mail. Till I was like 22. It was awful.
We got Oliver. Here we go.
All right.
Let's see. How about Borneo?
The kind of name's Borneo.
Hey, that's a place. It's like a city or country or something. Fucking
sorry.
Don't belittle where people live.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a person's name.
Like 18% of our audience lives in Borneo. You fuck. Show some goddamn respect.
Do y'all really live in Borneo?
But they might one day.
One day.
We're going to Borneo.
Really?
More like a Horneo. Bone Town. Boneo. DCU References.
You've become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
All right. So, the red kite that Chloe hands Clark, which he briefly holds up to his chest, is in the familiar shape of the Superman logo. It's that good old diamond. The good old Superman diamond. In an Action Comics comic book titled Superman, The World of Mr. Mxyzptlk, published in 1961, Superman destroyed a solar system with a sneeze.
Oh, God. That's awful.
It was the 60s, man. Like, none of that counts. It was the Bronze Age.
Mom, it's the 60s.
I think it was the Bronze Age. Silver Age was like post World War II.
Welcome to the 60s.
So I'm going to say Bronze Age. That was when they did like silly stuff. Okay? Like in the 60s and like early 70s. Like it was when they did just silly. Like Superman had like it was when like Batman had a polka dot outfit and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, and it was like, oh, Jimmy and Superman have dogs now. Like, and it was just a bunch of goofy shit, you know? And like, nobody goes back to those books for referencing anything. Like, it's either Silver Age or it's like the dark 80s, man. With like the Dark Knight. I'm trying to fill time because the prompter decided to double all the way back to the beginning. So I'm just letting it scroll on by. But Maggie.
But Matt.
Would you be afraid if Superman sneezed at you?
Yeah. Get blown out of the atmospheres.
This is taking so long. So I'm just going to pull up the notes while that's trying to get there. Let's see here. The other thing was...
Thank you, Matt Zero. Borneo is an island in Southeast Asia.
There you go.
A quick search.
In your face, Matt.
I apologize to the people of Borneo.
Lois experiencing something bizarre while out jogging also happens to Lois in an episode of Superman, the animated series.
Oh.
Ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum. Which is more iconic, the animated series theme song or John Williams' theme song?
John Williams.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Or what about John Williams' theme song and Remy Zero's "Somebody Save Me"?
John Williams is Superman.
Oh God! All right. Now let's get into the next segment, which is the countdown to Superman.
Good God, that scared me.
37 weeks until Superman returns to cinemas. So we got some DCU news. I'm not going to get into too much of it here. But there was a new trailer for Creature Commandos that was released. It's dropping in Max in December. There was Supergirl news. So it begins filming in January. Again, based off the Tom King run, Superman Woman of Tomorrow, which is an 8 issue series that you don't have to have any prior knowledge on.
Oh, wow. I
own it on like Amazon Kindle or something. It was Comixology. I don't know what the hell it's called now. So yeah, I think I might read it. I've got a little bit of a trip coming up. Might read it then.
Yes.
Give me something to do. Yeah. And lastly, a Superman movie trailer will be released, quote, soon, but not too soon.
Soon.
Somebody
not too soon, Robin. It's 7:30.
Somebody in chat yesterday was saying it was going to be released alongside
Caleb Richardson.
Yeah. And
that's what he thinks.
I can't remember what it is coinciding with. Some sort of...
The 2 episodes of Creature Commandos. And also the thing in Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a con.
No.
But it's something. Yeah.
And DC Comics will be there.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Is there a big Warner Brothers movie coming out? Who's doing Wicked? Is that Warner Brothers?
I don't know. I'll look.
Because if that's Warner Brothers, then I could see them dropping the trailer with Wicked also. I'm trying to think if there's any other big movies coming out this year that it would fit under, and I'm not sure. So while Maggie looks that up, let's go into next time on Smallville.
Next time, Gadget. Next time.
It's Universal.
Man, so I don't know. There's a lot of movies coming out at the end of the year, and I'm just blanking on all of them. I'm sure there's a Warner Brothers property coming out. I just can't think of any.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter? Is she dead, Potter? Your mother dead? Is she dead, Potter? Your mother dead, Potter? Fucking Big D. Piece of shit. Season 6, Episode 3, Wither. Maggie. Based solely off the title, what do you think the plot of the next episode is? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I do not remember.
Well, Matt Sierra said earlier he remembers the next one. I think it's about some people getting on a bus.
Okay.
And they get their energy drained.
Why are you doing Sailor Moon? That's tomorrow. We're doing Sailor Moon tomorrow.
I'm sorry.
Dork. God.
I really don't know what it would be like. Isn't there effing plant?
Plant people?
Plant people.
Didn't we talk about plant people at the beginning of this?
Yes, we did.
Robert Plant.
Plant people, plant.
All it makes me think of is that Creed song. We are rusted and withered. It's weathered, but...
Weathered.
Weathered. Well, my old hair under sunlight. Welcome to... Listen, everybody. I'm going to give you a little tip here. All right, a little tip for everybody. if you want to do a great Scott Stapp impression, all you gotta do is not make any hard consonant sounds. That's it.
That's it.
And like lower your voice and just kind of everything just kind of blurs into each other. All right.
Driving to Florida for our honeymoon, I don't know how many times he sang like that going down the road.
No, it was a lot. I had to keep myself awake because I drove for 18 or 20 goddamn hours.
Drove a stick, and I can't drive a stick.
And that was after I did my paper out that morning.
Yes.
The last one. But no, so like with arms wide open, you would say, so like just no hard consonants. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. You know what else is done?
What?
This podcast episode. What? That's right, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for this week's edition of Going Back to Smallville. If you would like to hang out with us next time, we'll be live right here on youtube.com/hopefullyawesome next Tuesday.
Shit.
Talking about Wither. That's weird. Don't do that. Thanks again to everybody that supports us over at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome and right here as members on youtube.com/hopefullyawesome. They got their name in every episode, just like these fine folks right here. But remember, if you don't have any bucks to toss our way, it's totally fine. There are a few things you could do to help support Hopefully Awesome. One of which being to head over to your favorite podcast network and just hit that 5-star rating. Give us a rating.
Yeah.
5 stars. Leave us a little comment. Appreciate it. It helps us feel good. Or you can also come over here, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. All these things kind of tickle the algorithm a little bit. Tickles the YouTube's pickle, so to speak. Or this episode was also brought to you in part by a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. Use the link in the description of this episode. Get your free 30 days and then cancel it immediately. We get $3 for it, and Jeff Bezos dies a little on the inside. Win.
Wow.
We had the sign up all day, but if you're listening to this, everybody, 2 weeks from today, as of the recording, is election day. So please make sure you go out and vote for Kamala Harris. If you're going to vote for the other guy, you can just stay home. It's fine. I'm not going to get into all of it here at the end because obviously the podcast is ending. But you should vote for somebody that gives a fucking shit about everybody and isn't a huge orange asshole. But that's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night for hopefully Anime Power Hour, Digimon, and Sailor Moon Season 1, Episode 10s across the board. Thanks for watching. And as always,
have a hopefully awesome day.
Bye. Gesundheit. I think I made that same joke last week.
Yeah. Oh, dang it.